Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. But before we get into it, there are two things I want to say. First off, it seems like we're going to be hitting 100,000 subscribers soon. I don't know if that number is going to fluctuate up and down between 99K and 100K, but either way, the fact that it's seemingly going to happen, I want to just thank everybody for making this possible. I want to thank you for your support, and yeah, it's a huge milestone. Never really thought I'd make it to that, level on YouTube, but yeah, shout out to you guys for, again, making that a thing. I do also want to let you know that I'm going to be doing a live gameplay stream with Mrs. MBG today, where we're going to play the original Until Dawn. So be sure to look out for that and tune in and hang out with us for a little bit. It's okay if you can't catch it live. Obviously, you can watch it after the fact. But yeah, now we're going to dive into the topics here. And the first topic we are starting off with is Sony coming out and confirming a new sales milestone for the PlayStation 2 of all consoles. Being reported by Push Square, they say for over a decade, the PlayStation 2's official sales total sat at 155 million units as Sony stopped reporting sales of the system in 2012. It was always assumed the final number was higher as the console wasn't officially discontinued until a year later, and there would have been leftover inventory that filtered its way into the retail chain. But we never knew the final figure until recently. In an off-the-cuff comment during the official PlayStation podcast, ex-CEO Jim Ryan said the system had sold 160 million units, and that's now been confirmed as part of the 30th anniversary retrospective on the brand's website. PS2 is one of the best-selling video game consoles of all time, with over 160 million units sold worldwide since 2000, the infographic reads. The number is pertinent because the Nintendo Switch had been closing in. As of September 30th, Nintendo had shipped 146 million units of the hybrid hardware. With this relatively new number released by Sony, it'll need to shift another 14 million units to take the crown. To be honest, that total still seems achievable. While the Switch is naturally beginning to slow down in its twilight years, we reckon it'll continue to sell steadily after its successor is introduced, which many are expecting for next year. So, yeah, just wanted to throw this out here. We are, rapidly approaching the 30th anniversary of PlayStation, and Sony wanted to give us an update on the PlayStation 2 hitting 160 million units. Jim Ryan did say this earlier this year, but now we have Sony giving the official confirmation. And yeah, some people are looking at this as Sony kind of trolling Nintendo, where it's like, oh, look at that, Nintendo, you're very close to surpassing, the PlayStation 2, which is the best-selling console of all time. But yeah, sorry, it turns out you're going to need to sell another 5 million to do that. But don't count Nintendo out yet. The Switch absolutely could still pull that off, man. So we will see. But yeah, PS2, shout out to that console, legendary console, one of the best of all time. Moving on to the next topic, we have some potentially sad news when it comes to a longtime PlayStation executive, that being Shuhei Yoshida, announcing he is departing Sony. Longtime PlayStation executive Shuhei Yoshida, lovingly known as Shu, has announced his departure from Sony after 31 years of service. Although understandable, the announcement came as a bit of a surprise and in a rather unconventional way in an interview with the PlayStation blog. The PlayStation blog interview in question revolved around Yoshida's storied career at Sony, where he was involved in numerous best-selling video games across various roles. He gained a lot of popularity, especially during his tenure as PlayStation's worldwide studios boss. I have an announcement to make, Yoshida said. I'm leaving Sony Interactive Entertainment on January 15th, 2025. It's like announcing the launch date of a new game, something I haven't done for a very long time, he jokingly added. Yoshida revealed that he had been thinking of moving on from Sony since completing 3 decades at the company. He's of the view that it's time for a younger generation and fresh minds to settle into management roles. Separately on Twitter, Yoshida indicated that although he is leaving PlayStation, he'd like to stay in the video game industry. However, he has not disclosed whether he has something lined up or not. He also says PlayStation is in really good hands. I thought, okay, this is my time. So, yeah, obviously a huge figure at PlayStation. I think pretty much everybody knows Shuhei Yoshida. And this, I guess, does make sense, right? 31 years, I mean, that's a career. It is interesting to me that Shuhei Yoshida does want to stay in the industry, which I think is good, right? No matter what he chooses to do, I think that's a good thing that he wants to stay involved. But I think it's completely understandable that after 31 years at the same company and, seeing all of the milestones that the brand has achieved, it's at a high mark right now, or a high point, I should say, in terms of its overall success. Yeah, it kind of makes sense, right? This is not an uncommon thing to see, not just in the industry, but across multiple industries. Usually, when you hit that 30-year mark, that's a time for somebody to really consider, like, do I want to continue, or do I want to just maybe leave now and depart? So there you go. Shout out to Shuhei Yoshida. Obviously, he's done amazing things for PlayStation that I don't think anybody will be forgetting anytime soon. Moving on to the next topic, we have another leak regarding something that Sony's going to be announcing hardware-wise. Being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle, it says a known leaker has revealed that the PlayStation Portal is finally coming in a new color soon and in an initially limited quantity. Trusted leaker D-Labs insider Bill Bilkun is on track to leak almost all of Sony's upcoming plans before they are officially announced, and this time they're claiming that the PlayStation Portal will also be available in black. Unlike their recent leaks, Bill Bilkun is unable to confirm when Sony plans to launch the PlayStation Portal in black, but did say that it will be priced the same as the original variant. The handheld launched a year ago in the color that matches the standard PS5, and the only variant so far has been the 30th anniversary edition. In other words, the upcoming release will be the first variant of the Portal in a different color, but Bill Bilkun is reporting that Sony plans to launch it in limited quantity, but does suggest that it will be restocked depending on the demand. So there you go. We've heard about the DualSense Edge, the PlayStation, Pulse Elite and Pulse Explorer. They're getting black variants, and then we hear about the limited edition Helldivers 2 controller. But on top of that, I guess it just makes sense Sony's going to do a black PlayStation Portal. But moving on to the next topic, we have an update regarding PlayStation Stars wallet funds. Following intense backlash, the PS Stars wallet funds reward has returned for a number of players, partially at least. Earlier this morning, the $5 or equivalent denomination returned for a large number of players across the globe. For some, this is the only option that has returned, while others now have 2 or more denominations available to redeem. So this is something I wanted to be sure to let you guys know about, because we've been kind of following what's been going on with PlayStation Stars, and honestly, it's been a bit of a train wreck. Sony seems to be really struggling to get a hold of this rewards program for some reason. And, this was a big thing that really frustrated a lot of PlayStation players who partake in this rewards program, because this is the thing that they care about most, the wallet funds. And it seems like Sony didn't actually remove it. It's just been that glitched out, and there have been just that many issues with the actual rewards program that these things just weren't appearing, and they're now, I guess, slowly kind of reappearing. And the most interesting part here to me is the fact that some people are only seeing $5, some people are seeing $10 or $15, and to me that confirms that this is not like Sony did not intentionally remove it. It's actually just completely broken, and they have to fix it and get it working properly. So that's my assumption anyway, but I'll continue to keep you guys updated. But the final topic here is an update on some of Capcom's PS Plus premium games. It's worth noting that previously these games were not available to purchase a la carte without a subscription, but that has changed. People are discovering that if you want to buy, like, Dino Crisis, for example, that's the most recent game, you can do so for $10. They're being sold for $10 a piece. You can buy Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut. And so I wanted to just, again, take a moment to point this out, because we are quick to kind of point out the things that Sony does that are annoying and frustrating. And one of the things is, the fact that you could only access these games through a premium subscription. It seems like either they listened or Capcom listened, or they contacted Capcom or whatever, but now you are able to buy these games individually for $10 a piece on the PlayStation Store. I think that's good news, and hopefully that's how it will continue going forward. But guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.